Let's cut to the chase. It's been a really weird time. And while we all let out a collective sigh of relief this weekend, there's a lot of unrest, there is a lot of uncertainty. Close your eyes, but you still have one open because you're not sure what's gonna happen. This is known as the lame duck season or time period. And even if you're not cognizant of it, it's affecting all of us. These are gonna be a weird couple of weeks, so I wanted to go through some things with you that are not only gonna help you cope and keep you sane, but they're actually gonna help you thrive in this weird time. And I'm sure you'll be able to get something out of it, so make sure you stick around until the end. My name is Connie. I am your friendly neighborhood anxiety coach. I do the research and a little bit of work, and then I invite you to join me on the journey as we self-heal together. If you have been struggling with anxiety before the world was on fire, I have a video that's really helpful. It's my beginner's guide to anxiety. I'll go ahead and link it up. Although this video is gonna have some really helpful tips as well. I know I've been on a roller coaster of emotions, from weeping to fear to excitement, and I know that I'm not alone, so I wanna share with you the things that I've been doing to cope, the things I plan on doing to cope in the next few weeks, in the next few months, the next few years. So let's get into it. The first thing I'm gonna share with you is probably gonna contradict what most of us have been taught our whole lives, but it's the truth, so I'm gonna share it anyway. My first piece of advice is that you have to feel the pain. I know most of us were taught to suppress, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, keep it pushing, but that isn't sustainable and it's not healthy, because the truth of the matter is that your feelings are gonna come out whether you want them to or not. So you get to control how they emerge into the world, either in a safe space where you are making space for them and giving yourself time to feel those feelings, or they show up in ways like insomnia, or 5 trips a week at Taco Bell at midnight because you are stress eating, or mindless scrolling through the internet. Those are just 3 ways that our feelings manifest themselves when we don't pay attention to them. So if you're feeling numb, it's not because you are without feeling, it's because you have so many feelings that your body doesn't know what to do with them. So it's just gonna numb itself out. And I know it seems scary, I know it seems daunting, but I'm here to tell you that it's okay. You are not alone. Most of us are walking around like zombies. So I wanna give you the permission, in case nobody's given it to you, to feel your feelings. If you're feeling angry, then yell into a pillow or in a room where people are not gonna think that something's wrong. If you are feeling sad, then cry. Don't try to suppress your feelings, especially now there is too much going on in the world for us to be walking around with suppressed feelings like zombies, all right, people? So let's give ourselves space to feel our feelings. And that leads me right to my second piece of advice, or thing to be cognizant of, if you will. Just like we suppress what we deem as negative emotions, in times of stress, we also suppress our good emotions. And a lot of that comes from guilt and our feeling that we aren't worthy of feeling happy or worthy of feeling joy, even in the midst of chaos. And I'm here to tell you that that is simply not true. In fact, it is necessary for you to find joy and find the little things that make you smile, especially when we are in the midst of chaos, because joy spreads. Again, I wanted to make sure that we preface it by saying that you have to make space for your negative emotions as well. But I want to encourage you, just because we're in the middle of a pandemic doesn't mean that you're not allowed to feel joyful about getting more time to spend with yourself. It's okay. That doesn't make you a bad person. Feel all your feelings, the good, the bad, the ugly, and especially the good. Okay, the third thing that I'm gonna be doing in this crazy time and forever really is practicing presence. I know you guys have heard me say it a million times, and I'm gonna keep saying it again, but most of our anxiety comes because we're worried about what happened in the past, or we're stressed out about what's gonna happen in the future. The best way to mitigate that is to be in the here and now. And you can practice presence by focusing on washing the dishes as you're washing them, focusing on taking a shower as you're taking a shower, and not be thinking about your grocery list. Focus on what you're doing as you're doing it. Another wonderful exercise that you can do is to find a comfortable seat or lay down in your bed and do a body scan. From the top of your head all the way down to your toes, go through the list of your body parts and just check in. Like, take a deep breath and think about your head, the top of your head, and how it's feeling right now. Maybe it's a little bit itchy. That's actually what I'm feeling right now. And then move down your eyes. Maybe your eyes are feeling tired because you were up late last night and you woke up early. Send some love. You move down to your ears and your nose and so on and so forth. Just do a little audit and just see what's going on in your body. That was a wonderful intentional practice of presence that you can do all the time if you want, but I also want to encourage you to practice presence throughout your day as you're going through your day to day. And that just comes with checking yourself. Just little reminders throughout the day that really start to make a huge difference. My fourth little practice or piece of advice that I have for you in coping through these insane times is gonna be brain breaks. If you have a child in virtual learning, I am sure you've heard that term used before. It's what they use to make sure the kids are not sitting in front of the computer all day long. And I think that we as adults really need to heed that advice as well. So brain breaks looks like turning off the news. It looks like shutting your phone off. My husband and I just implemented this new thing that we're doing and I'm really excited about it. We're doing phone fasts every week on Sundays. So after a certain time on Sunday, we are putting our phones away and we are not touching them again until Monday morning. That gives us time to spend with each other, and it also gives us time to just be quiet and listen to ourselves and not be intaking external advice and opinions and energies. It's always important, but especially now, it is vital that we are cultivating a strong sense of self and a strong relationship with ourselves, because that's gonna be the bedrock of stability. And when you're taking brain breaks, what you're doing is you're creating more space for you to read. You're creating more space for you to meditate, for you to be quiet, and for you to listen to yourselves. That's why the brain breaks are so important. The last piece of advice that I want to share with you is the most important, and that is turning your anxiety into action. There is a huge difference between productive anxiety and unproductive anxiety. Productive anxiety is when your body reacts because there's a lion running towards you. Your anxiety goes up so you can survive. That is productive anxiety. The unproductive anxiety is when we're having those ruminating thoughts, we're stuck in that loop, and most of the time it really causes us to freeze up and not do anything because we are so overwhelmed. We want to take all that unproductive anxiety, the ruminating thoughts, the intrusive thoughts, the brain loops, and we want to just go shoo and just move it over to the productive side. What that looks like is when you start feeling really anxious about something, instead of letting that feeling just take you away, take one moment to pause and say, what can I do in the next 5 minutes or in the next day that's gonna make me feel a little bit better about this? So turning anxiety into action can look like you baking muffins and bringing them to your neighbor just because you know they've been struggling. Turning anxiety into action can be joining a text bank. There are so many things that we can do to turn our anxiety into action, especially now when there's so much lack of control. It's important for us to focus on the things that we can control instead of getting stuck. If you need help on any of the advice that I went through today, reach out to me either in the comments below or send me a DM. I'll go ahead and add my Instagram right here. And if you found this video helpful or you know somebody who would really benefit from it, make sure you send it to them. And don't leave without hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out.